Hello there, my name is Richard McMunn from the interview training website, passmyinterview.com, and in this training video, I will teach you how to prepare for an interview with Deloitte. If you are applying for any job role at Deloitte, make sure you stay tuned because the tips, questions, and sample answers I am about to give you will help you pass your interview at the first attempt. And to achieve that goal, I will cover the following 4 things in this training video. Number 1. So I will tell you which Deloitte interview questions to prepare for. These questions come up all the time during Deloitte job interviews. Number 2. I will then give you 2 important tips for answering each interview question correctly, plus give you a sample answer. Number 3, I will then tell you which questions I recommend you ask at the end of your Deloitte job interview. And then finally, number 4, I will tell you where you can instantly download these slides plus my full set of 21 great answers to difficult Deloitte interview questions. And just very quickly, if you are new to my channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Thousands of you are passing your job interviews at the first attempt. I can only help you if you are subscribed, and please hit the like button because that really does motivate me to create more great content for you. Thank you very much indeed. Okay. The first question I recommend you prepare for is tell me about yourself. Let me give you 2 important tips and I will then give you my top scoring example answer. Tip number 1. So make sure you practice your answer several times to this question before the interview because that will help demonstrate confidence, reduce nerves, and prove that you have strong communication skills. This is going to be the first question you will have to answer at your Deloitte interview, and it is imperative you give a confident response. And tip number 2, in your answer, I recommend you talk about your skills and strengths that match the Deloitte job description, any experience you can bring to the company, any achievements in your career to date, and then briefly outline what you will do in the role if they hire you. So here is my brilliant top scoring example answer to help you pass your Deloitte job interview. Tell me about yourself. Here we go. Thank you for this opportunity to work at Deloitte. I am a self-motivated, commercially focused, collaborative and fast-working professional with the skills, qualities and knowledge to meet the role's demands. My educational qualifications are perfectly aligned with this industry, and my diverse experience means I can immediately impact the role and help Deloitte achieve its financial and commercial goals. I have experience collaborating with others on time-sensitive projects, ensuring they are completed to exact standards. I also have experience solving challenging problems and motivating others to achieve success. For example, I helped train new team members in my last job to ensure they quickly reached competence. I am a high achiever. In my last position, my manager praised me for embracing change, bringing creative ideas to the team, and showing flexibility in my job description. If you hire me, I will be a positive role model for Deloitte and take responsibility for my professional development. And I look forward to sharing additional details regarding my suitability for this role in the interview. That is a brilliant answer that will help get your Deloitte job interview off to a confident start. Now you can either pause the video if you want to and write down the questions, tips and answers as we work through them together, or if you wait, I will soon tell you where you can instantly download these slides plus my full set of 21 brilliant example answers to difficult but common Deloitte job interview questions. Here is the next question I strongly recommend you prepare for. Why Deloitte, or why do you want to work for Deloitte? Let me give you 2 important tips. Tip number 1. Now, this next common Deloitte interview question is clearly assessing your motivations for wanting to work at this brilliant organisation. Now, it is vital you say that you have researched Deloitte before the interview to ensure it is a place you want to work at long term. And tip number 2, good things to include in your answer are Deloitte's fantastic reputation for delivering quality services, how you will get to collaborate with some of the brightest people in the industry, and how you will receive the very best training to excel in your work at Deloitte. So here is another top scoring example answer to help you pass your Deloitte interview. Why Deloitte? I want to work at Deloitte because you have an outstanding reputation for delivering quality and innovative professional services to clients. This means I will collaborate alongside talented and driven professionals striving to be the best they can be. I also want to work at Deloitte because you allow people to thrive. You clearly focus on development and well-being, which means I will feel supported in my work and receive the best training. Finally, I want to work at Deloitte because you have a diverse and inclusive workplace culture where everyone has equal opportunity. As a proud employee of Deloitte, I will have a clear career progression path and see my work's positive impact on your valued clients. That is another really good answer that will help you impress at your Deloitte job interview. Now, don't go anywhere because I still have many more questions, important tips and sample answers to give you. But when you're ready, you can click that link in the top right hand corner of the video. Head straight through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can instantly download these slides plus my full set of 21 great answers to common but difficult Deloitte job interview questions. Here is the next question I want you to prepare for, and that is, what are Deloitte's values? And tell me a time you demonstrated one of them in your work. This is a difficult question. Here's 2 important tips. Tip number 1, now before you attend your Deloitte interview, I strongly recommend you familiarize yourself with their values. Now, values are a set of standards an organization prides itself on. Tip number 2, in your answer, list Deloitte's values, and then number 2, give a specific situation where you already demonstrated one of them in a previous job role. Here is my brilliant example answer. What are Deloitte's values? And tell me a time you demonstrated one of them in your work. Here we go. Your values include lead the way, which is being the market leader and reinventing the future, and serve with integrity, which is earning trust from the public, regulators, and your clients. Taking care of each other is another Deloitte value, which is being respectful, fair, and developing staff. Other Deloitte values include creating an inclusive workplace culture and collaborating for measurable impact. In a previous role, I demonstrated these values in my work. For example, I took responsibility for devising a training plan for new team members that educated them on how the company operated, the policies and procedures they needed to be familiar with, and how to use company software tools, computers, and resources. This demonstrates the value of taking care of each other. So you can see how powerful that answer is because you have researched the Deloitte values, you've mentioned them in your answer, and then you are giving a specific situation where you demonstrated one of them in a previous job role. It's a great answer. Here is the next question I strongly recommend you prepare for. What are your greatest strengths? Tip number 1. So this next common Deloitte interview question is assessing whether your strengths will positively impact the organization. Tip number 2. Now, the best strengths, in my opinion, for a Deloitte interview include commercial awareness, collaboration capabilities, a passion for self-development, and problem-solving and analytical skills. Here is another brilliant example answer. What are your greatest strengths? My strengths include my collaboration skills and working closely with others to achieve the team objective. I always put the needs of my team first and take ownership of challenges when they occur to achieve a successful outcome. Other strengths are my commercial awareness. I understand how a business operates and that I must act responsibly and ethically, set a good example to others, innovate to help the business thrive, and give Deloitte a strong return from my salary. Finally, perhaps my greatest strength is my passion for continuous improvement and development and sharing knowledge with others. This means you will hire someone who always grows professionally and supports employees to add value to the business. I love that answer. That is a really good answer, and you are giving strengths that I believe will be an asset to Deloitte's mission. Here is the next question. What are your weaknesses? Be very careful how you answer this common Deloitte interview question. Tip number 1. So this next common Deloitte interview question is assessing self-awareness. Do not say you don't have any weaknesses or your weakness is being a perfectionist. Tip 2. Good weaknesses include being impatient, letting go of projects, public speaking, and finding it hard to say no to people, which means that you overcommit, you take on too many responsibilities. Here is another brilliant example answer to help you pass your Deloitte job interview. What are your weaknesses? Here we go. My weaknesses are public speaking and impatience. I am not yet a confident public speaker, but I want to develop this skill. If there are any opportunities in this position at Deloitte for me to give talks or presentations, I would like to try it. My weakness of being impatient is because I have a strong hurry-up driver. I want to finish things quickly and dislike leaving tasks incomplete. However, I understand that not everyone works at the same pace, and there are benefits to being methodical. To improve on this weakness, I am learning to balance fast-paced work and diligence while completing tasks and projects. That is exactly how I would answer that difficult Deloitte interview question. Here is the next question I recommend you prepare for. Describe a challenging project you worked on and how you handled it. Tip number 1. Now, you will be asked several behavioral interview questions during your Deloitte job interview. I recommend you give a specific situation when you worked hard to overcome challenges during a project. And tip number 2, I recommend you use the STAR method to structure your answer. STAR stands for situation, task, action, and result. So you begin your answer and you explain the situation you were in. You then outline the task that needed doing. You then give specifics about the action you took to achieve the project. And then finally, you finish your answer with a positive result. So here is my brilliant example answer to help you. Describe a challenging project you worked on and how you handled it. Here we go. I was working on a team-based project in my last position. The project required us to redesign and build a new company website within 3 weeks. This project was challenging because nobody in the team had experience designing or building websites. During the initial project brief, I suggested we each take responsibility for an area of the project. My area included website end-user functionality, and others in the team were responsible for design features, sourcing an adequate server, and coding and testing. Now, unfortunately, 10 days into the project, we lost 2 team members due to sickness. I wasn't prepared to extend the project deadline because I had other important projects to complete, so I called a team meeting to reassess the brief and remaining tasks. I took on extra responsibilities and delegated several other tasks. For the outstanding technical tasks, I decided to hire expert contractors from the website Upwork.com. I found several developers and interviewed them via Zoom. Once I had chosen the best contractors, I gave them a thorough brief and monitored their work closely, keeping in constant communication throughout. By remaining calm, reallocating tasks, and thinking outside the box in terms of using contractors, we managed to finish the project and launch the website on time. Now, I really like that answer because it shows that you take the lead whenever challenges occur and you think outside the box. You are being creative to find a solution that enables you to meet your project deadline. Don't forget, use the STAR method when answering Deloitte behavioral interview questions: situation, task, action, and result. Here is the next question that comes up regularly during Deloitte job interviews. What are your salary expectations? Tip number 1. Now, this next difficult Deloitte interview question needs a confident answer. Be sure to research the salary range for your job role at Deloitte before the interview, and you can do that via the website glassdoor.com. Tip number 2, in your answer, state that you have researched the salary range, and that tells the hiring manager you understand what top performing employees are getting paid, and then demonstrate an understanding that the salary has got to work for Deloitte as well as you. So here is my example answer to help you. What are your salary expectations? I researched the salary range for a high-performing employee in this industry and role before applying. The salary range is between $65,000 and $78,000. While I believe I am worth $78,000, I understand I must prove to you my worth. On that basis, I would be comfortable with a salary of $75,000 and the agreement to have my salary reviewed annually based on my performance and contribution to Deloitte's mission. For $75,000, I'm confident you will see a positive return on your investment. Now, if you want to use that answer, all you have to do is research the salary range at Deloitte via the website glassdoor.com, for example, and then change the numbers that have been highlighted in red. Now, let me give you 3 questions to consider asking at the end of your Deloitte interview. So at the end of your interview, the hiring manager will say, that's the end of the interview. Would you like to ask any questions? I recommend you ask 3 smart questions. Here they are. Question number 1. What is it that the top performing employees at Deloitte do to achieve success? Question number 2. Can you tell me more about your training and development programs at Deloitte and how someone would enroll in them? And question number 3, how does the performance review process work at Deloitte and who would I be accountable to? Those are the questions I would ask at the end of a Deloitte interview. Now, the next thing to do to accelerate your learning even further is make sure you click that link right now in the top right-hand corner of the video. Head straight through to my website, passmyinterview.com, and you can instantly download these slides with all the tips, questions, and sample answers. Plus, you will get my full set of 21 brilliant example responses to difficult but common Deloitte job interview questions. It comes as a PDF guide, so you can literally have it in your inbox within 2 minutes from now. Make sure you check out that link. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thousands of you are passing your job interviews at the first attempt. I can only help you if you are subscribed. Please hit the like button because that genuinely really motivates me to create more content if I see you liking the videos. And don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn. I have put my LinkedIn link in the description below the video. It is always an honor and a pleasure to connect with like-minded professionals such as yourself. Thank you for watching and for supporting my channel. I wish you all the very best for passing your Deloitte job interview. Have a wonderful day.